Opinions and stories around the game we love, told by your favorite storytellers. Stay up to date with all things cricket. Subscribe to Cricbuzz's YouTube channel and press that bell icon now.
Bangalore taking on Hyderabad. This should be a big one. This is two teams who seem to be coming into their own. While they may not be up there with Rajasthan and Gujarat, they're just knocking on the door to head up there. Bangalore, Shaun Pollock. Many people are just not wanting to say the words, but it's sort of getting to a stage when you could start whispering, could this be their year?
Oh, you haven't said it.
Well, I suppose you could go down the route. And I think the big thing why people are saying it is if you look at who's always been their stumbling blocks, they are cemented to the bottom of the table, aren't they? So they think, well, if those guys aren't around, maybe we can have that self-belief. But yeah, I like the way they're trending. I think they missed Maxwell at the original part and they missed Hazelwood. Since they've had those two back, it seemed like a different squad for me. And I think they're starting to settle in, and it's only a matter of time, you would think, until Virat starts to find a little bit of form. And once he does that and gets some decent scores to go with what you've seen from Faf and our Cricbuzz commentator Dinesh Karthik, it'll be great for them. I think they are trending in the right direction. And as I say, I think that when you see those other two teams, you think, well, these ones have always tripped us up in years gone by. Where they're nowhere to be seen. Maybe this is our year.
Well, given we've got this Australia-South Africa combination here on Cricbuzz, and since Shaun already mentioned it, so it's our Cricbuzz Live expert who we've loaned out to the IPL, plus the Australia-South Africa connection that is actually sort of hiding the fact that Virat Kohli is still to get going and Bangalore is still in that top half.
Yeah, I mean, Faf played really well. Captain Snock really showed why he's revered in this format and why he was given the leadership role as well. And Maxwell, he comes out of the blocks hard. He plays one way. They've seemed to unlock a little bit of his magic, Bangalore, and that's great to see because he's been a guy that was touted a long time ago. I think when Mumbai picked him up for $1 million and he sat on the sideline and didn't do anything. And back here in Australia, we're like, what an easy gig is that? But, he wants to get out there. He wants to contribute. He's got a few overs up his sleeve as well with the ball in hand. He bowled well the last game as well. So they are kind of smoothing over a few of the cracks as well that is happening at the top of the order. But Virat and who's the other one? Anuj
Rawat.
Yeah,
Rawat.
They're the two that need to kind of just click for them, and then they'll be flying. Because from Shahbaz Ahmed at the end in the middle order has been doing really well, scoring the runs, and then the bowling unit we know have been performing well as a group.
I think also when you put these squads together, what you often look at is, and you're hoping for, sort of look at a squad like that and you think, well, 2 matches. You need to be winning with 2 matches. If you get man of the match in 2 as a Glenn Maxwell, and Faf du Plessis gets me 2, and then like a Hasaranga gets me 1, and a Siraj gets me 1, and a Hazelwood gets me 1, we qualify. And I think they've still got that potential, up their sleeves. We haven't seen that real big performance from Maxwell. There's going to be probably a man of the match performance from Kohli. So those are always the things you tend to hold on to and you're quite excited about because they've got the potential to do it. On their day, if they get it right, they can win you a match.
Pointed question, briefly, Shaun, since we've discussed Pat Cummins, what is Hazelwood doing right in this transformation to the shortest format?
I think he's playing on the better surfaces. I think they've got to get the other one away from Pune. I don't think Pune is a great surface to be bowling on. I think it's harder. I think Hazelwood has used that bounce that he extracts from the surface to good effect. I think he learned a lot about himself at Chennai last year. We saw a progression about the change of game plan and what he has to do at different times. And I think he's got a better understanding. Whereas I think Cummins is still kind of working on that. I think that also what they tend to do is they tend to give Hazelwood a similar role every time. And he's developed a knack of being able to produce that. Whereas Cummins' role can change from game to game. And that's where he maybe can find some difficulty.
Yeah, every time you refer to Chennai, never mind where they are on the table, ex-Chennai players, what have they learned? They usually learn a lot and they go somewhere else and fly their trade and make Chennai feel bad about it. But the opposition, the team playing Bangalore, we seem to have forgotten about them. They've been doing really well. We saw some lovely pictures of Tom Moody and company and having a little outing the other day. Did you see that photograph on Instagram, Lisa?
Yeah, I did. I saw it. And what was it? You had Brian Lara with the hat backwards, and
correct. He had
and
Dave Steyn with the hair open,
long locks.
and Simon Helmut with the tuxedo.
Yeah, like seriously. And then I think I saw actually Kane Williamson and this band singing a song that they had changed the lyrics to. So they're obviously keeping themselves busy in the bubble, aren't they?
But with all the time off, that one little box they needed to tick was the absence of Washington Sundar. We're hoping, for their sake, that Washington Sundar comes back, because if he does, Lisa, that's probably going to make their team feel a lot better. With Umran Malik now picking up wickets, apart from scaring batsmen, Bhuvaneshwar starting to pick wickets, Markram and Tripathi forming a nice little middle order. They too are papering over Williamson's lack of runs.
Yeah, they've got a number of players to really fire, haven't they? I mean, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar was good at the start. Umran Malik, I still remember the camera constantly kind of panning back to Dale Steyn every time he got a wicket. And I said it feels like it's a little pet project of Sunrisers to actually mould him and create him into this amazing player. I mean, they retained him for a reason. He leaked runs at the start of the tournament, but now has figured out his line and length, and everyone is so chuffed to see him go well. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're kind of hoping that he keeps progressing up as well, but there's still a lot of cricket to play. But yeah, things are going well for them. And when you get this little run on, maybe the break wasn't what they needed. They needed to almost continue, because they started off poorly and now have got some consecutive wins under their belt.
Yeah, Rajasthan, who played earlier, we talked about how they love losing tosses. Just put us into bat, we'll sort it out. Hyderabad, on the other hand, they wouldn't mind winning tosses, chasing, doing it the Hyderabad way. You've got their bowlers firing. And the one name we didn't mention, Shaun, among all this was Nicholas Pooran, who's actually formed a nice little partnership with Markram there and said, if Williamson doesn't fire, Tripathi gives us a few, I'll finish it. I'll keep you company.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they've turned into a bit of a finishing combination, aren't they, in the middle overs? And that's what you want when the pressure's on, for them to come to the fore, left-handed, right-handed combination. So, yeah, it's all nice. It's looking good. I like the look of their team. I like some of the individual players, and we've seen them perform really well. Markram, it's interesting for me. We can see that I can see that he's made a technical change in his batting with regards to his backlift, and it seems to be paying off brilliantly. He went through a bit of a dodgy spell before coming to the RPL, was actually left out of the South African side, but he's turned it around nicely, and you wouldn't think anything about bad form at the moment, the way he's played in the last 2 or 3 in particular. So that's good signs for the South Africans. But as Lisa was saying, we should touch on some of those players. I like their bowling attack too. I think it's got some good variation. I would like to see Washington Sundar back. I like him as a player. I like what he offers.